That's another thing that you bring up that's interesting is hairiness, body hair.
Oh yeah.
That's something that is heavily modern capitalist society that's told us that having hair in specific areas is good and other specific areas is bad.
Yeah.
That is completely a modern construct that we think has always been like that, but it's totally a new thing.
Yeah.
Um, and
I do.
yeah,
I
I
do
mean,
feel. I do feel as we get older though, we stop giving a shit, and so like
that's a good thing, thank
no,
God.
yeah, I
But
know. Like obviously, as a kid, you're very much sort of enforced to sort of think this way, and you don't really, you don't really know yourself, so you're kind of lost in thought. And often enough, people in their 20s, late 20s, that's where they sort of figure out who they are, and then towards their 30s, even then, they're still trying to figure out who they are, but they're
yeah,
slowly evolving. But I feel like eventually, once you hit like your maturity age, whatever that age may be, often enough you stop caring, and then you're just like, well, if I like me. If you don't like me, I don't give a shit about you. I just,
right,
which
right.
I think I think should be more enforced towards the younger age because ultimately that's when everyone starts freaking out, depression goes up and stuff, and like
Yeah,
you know, you want to spend half your lifespan worrying about something that's completely mundane. Like, I
right.
mean, instead of learning new skill base, you're trying to fucking fix your nose job for like the price of your mortgage. Like what?
Yeah, it's worrying a bit.
It's very. I think it's also it helps. Well, like you said, it's very sort of modern capitalism because it sort of
Yeah,
it brings about more people to the cosmetic industry and sort of
yeah, yeah. You have to buy these razors. You have to buy this makeup. You have to buy this or that.
I find it still outrageous that the fact that women have to pay more for razors than men
Yeah, yeah.
makes.
That's insane. It's incredible that they still get away with it.
It's very much like it's very much capitalism in the sense that you advocate for a specific look that requires you to buy this product. Ergo, we will up in the price for this product for you to achieve this
Yeah,
goal. You know what I mean?
yeah. Heightened market value, and it's because you know that women are even more pushed this image of being hairless, so they're even more like anxious.
Yeah.
They're willing to pay more. You know that.
It's quite an interesting, like an intricate sort of system that has been built, been placed and created upon.
It's a very well-oiled evil concoction. It's like
I was watching a short documentary about sort of the reason why CEOs and all of them get paid a lot more. It's basically so it talks more about business oriented affairs. So it's like sort of how ultimately business gains profit,
yeah,
and a board of directors or the leaders of the company get to choose where the profit goes to. So often enough back in the day they would reinvest it into the company, so creating it,
right.
revolving the company, and
The
also
loop. Yeah.
yeah, and also bringing back like heightening the wages for the workers. But
Mm.
America's sort of system very much advocates for the use of buybacks, which is
Yeah.
kind of the same thing where like you basically buy your own share back so that the share goes is worth higher, and so you're like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, look, and then all the workers basically eat shit, and the company goes downhill very quickly because of
Yeah.
involved. It's kind of the same idea where sort of look, like buy my product, but I'll sell double the price that the other person gets to have. I feel like it's very sort of, I don't know, it's middle America.
It's incredibly greedy, and it enforces the wage gaps, and it enforces the whole idea of either like worker and owner wage
Yeah.
gaps, but also the gender wage gaps concerning the whole razor issue.
Yeah, I feel it's I think is I think I don't know. Do you guys do you think about the sort of the wage gap to be a rate or some more of the expenses? I think the wage gap comes more towards the expenses that either party has to sort of buy because
I
the
think a bit of both because I think that's also because of the hesitance that a lot of industries create in their workers in sharing their wages with each other. You know, like in a lot of workplaces, it feels almost taboo to like talk
Show,
about
show,
your
yeah,
wage with another. That's just a tactic to make sure that you don't know how much they're getting paid, they don't know how much you're getting paid, so
yeah,
no one knows if you're all getting equally paid.
yeah,
So that's an easy way to, create to not have to pay as much for, say, a woman. Or so
yeah.
I think that's a big source of
Yeah, I feel like it's very weird because often enough you're kind of working the same hours, so like
yeah, yeah. It's just that
it's a weird
it,
financial like insecurity in a sense.
yeah, it's a psychological warfare of sorts,
Yeah.
where you're gaining in on the insecurities of some of your workers to
Yeah,
not pay them as much.